There's 2 rivets here that I had to put new rivets in, part of the case, this one here and this one there. But as you can see, it's far, far too obvious that they are brand new rivets. And what we've got to do is make it from that bright brass to you know, a naturally kerning tarnish on them. And all I need to do is just rub it with a slight abrasive just to take off, and the same one there, just to take off the lacquer protective surface. Like that. Then we get a nice product. I found it through the gun making trade, which is, it is an acid, but it's a very weak acid. But what it does, it turns any brass object brown or black. So if you just watch that for a second, as it looked before your eyes, we can put 20 or 30 years on it. So it's gone dark brown now, and it's turned the acid dark brown, which it would be very, very heavy tarnished. You probably would see that to tarnish, that amount of tarnishing in 40, 50, 60 years. So I'll show you what we do to here. It doesn't mark the leather, so I'm not too worried about getting a bit of oversplash, but it should do exactly the same. There it goes. And the same to that one. Like that. As it's going, what I do is not harmful acid. Just rub it with your finger so you don't get that. You can take off now the tarnishing, the amount of tarnishing. The sweat on my finger will take it off, the brown marks, which will start to make it look as though it's been there from an original and been polished up by use of the hand and your fingers, and it gives a more even finish to it. Now that is permanent, that, and it looks as though it's been there for quite a while. That dark area rim will dry out in a second and you won't even see that. And you can see the difference to the whole overall finish of it and how it's all put together, the authenticity of it. Because the whole point of doing this is to make it look as though it's been repaired without being repaired. Look at the high points there, you can see the difference now. Just across the high points here in the middle, leave the 2 dark areas on the outside. The high point of the hinge, just there. And then on the front of the tongue here, we'll just give that where the finger would push it in. And then just a general one round the outside here, just to take some of the worst off it. Just there. And then on the front of the tongue here, we'll just give that where the finger would push it in and shine that up. And then on the side of the push latch, half of it, we'll just give it a quick, and then just a general one round the outside here, just to take some of the worst off it. Give that a buff up. You can see it shined it up, but it's not giving it a gloss as such. All it's done is burnish the surface, which makes it look a bit more tidy, as long as it's been used quite regularly, you know. I get another piece of leather that will use the flesh side, which I use to polish the blades, but I'll just polish that out with a flat piece of leather, and you'll see it starts to take off the scratches. That's all I'm looking to do, is polish out a few of the little tiny scratches, but not to a high gloss, just as though it's just been finger pressure, and there's just the inside left to polish up, and then it's job done. I've had applied a wax on here before, and you can see it'll give it a nice shiny finish and protect all the stitching that's in there, all the hinges, all the pressure points. There we go. Doesn't need a lot of work. Same with the base. It makes it more attractive. Without just a final wipe around to make sure we haven't got any marks or any old wax left on board. And I think that's about finished now. There we go.